Hello, darlings. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. My name is Liz Toon, and today I am going to show you how I put a gift jar together. In this particular case, I'm going to do a manicure gift jar, but it's adaptable to all types of gifts in a jar, and we'll talk about that as we get going. So let's get started. I have a candle jar that I cleaned out. And you can use any jar you want, but in this case, for the items that I'm going to put in, this will work just fine. So I have that, and then the rest of these items are from the Dollar Tree. I picked up this cute little manicure set. It's got 4 items in it, and that would be nail clippers and nail file and a cuticle pusher, backer thingy, whatever they're called, and manicure scissors. So this is a real cute little set. And then I have a buffer. This would be used if you choose not to use nail polish and just buff up your natural nails to a pretty shine. So I've used these before. These are nice. And then this pretty pink nail polish. It's number 505, and it's called LA Colors Color Craze Nail Polish. I've used nail polish from the Dollar Tree before quite successfully. They're not bad. So there you go, got that. And then we have not 1 but 2 nail brushes. I think this one is more for a pedicure, but I'm going to insert it in my gift jar anyway. And this one is definitely a nail brush. You know, you go like that, clean your nails. So let's see. And then I picked up this little thing. It's not really, doesn't really have anything to do with nails. It's called a emergency selfie kit. And it's got bobby pins and rubber bands and the little hair jaw clips, whatever they're called. It actually had a red background here, and I just decided to cut a piece of pink paper and insert that instead, so it kind of goes with the jar better. So that's fun. And then I made myself a little tag. You don't have to have a tag, but of course this is backwards. I don't know how to change that yet. I have to figure it out. But you can use any kind of tag you want, and in this case I'm choosing to call my gift jar Sassy Pink Manicure in a Jar. Of course it's obvious in a jar, but that's the theme, having gifts in a jar. So I've got a little hole punch in the top. And then I've got some very fine thread. I don't even know. Actually, this was given to me, so I don't know where it came from. But this works nicely because we don't want it to be seen. And then I've got this burlap ribbon. I cut it to, let's see, I wrote it down, 42 inches. This will go around the jar, and we're going to make a nice bow out of this ribbon. And then I was looking for my paper shred, and I guess I used it all at Christmas time. But anyway, that worked out just as well because I made some pink shred out of just paper. You know, I just cut little thin strips and then kind of made accordion folds. And so now it's kinky paper, kinky paper, kinky paper. So I have that. And that's about it. So let's go. So, okay, first of all, I'm going to, and I have to be very conscious of where my work area is because I've noticed that I tend to get away from it. So I'm going to use a little bit of the shred and put it on the bottom. You don't need very much. If the jar was bigger, you could put in more, but it's going to be a nice tight squeeze with the items I'm going to put in the jar. So I have a little bit of pink on the bottom. So then I'm going to start with the manicure set right here, and I'm going to be conscious of where the seams are on the jar, and the highlight items like this and the nail polish. I certainly don't want that to be in the seam, in a jar seam. So anyway, I'm going to put that in the middle. If it wasn't for the fact that the jar lid had extra room, there's, well, let's see, there's a little over 1.5 inches of space here. So that means that if you put the taller items in the center, you can utilize this space on the jar as well. So we'll do that. The other tall thing is the nail buffer. It's got 4 sides, and the sides are yellow and kind of a aqua and a white, and then finally the pink. So I want the pink side to show. So I'm going to back that up against the Manicure kit there. And then I'll take my, well, let me start with the other, or continue with the other taller items. Got the nail buffer. I'll put that sort of on the side. And then the other nail buffer probably next to it. There you go. I just want to make the items visible. And then I'm going to, let me turn this around a little bit so you can see better. I've got the nail color, so I'll put that right there. So trying to keep them upright. So the last thing is this little kit, this little emergency selfie kit, which is so cute. So I'll put that, I don't want to hide the nail polish. I'll put it kind of between the Manicure set kit. Whoops, I'll put this in the front. Goodness gracious. And the nail cleaner thingy, the nail brush. So, and that allows everything to show in the jar, which is fun. And so then I'm going to take more of my shred. I have a pencil here. So I'm going to put in some more shred, and because it's so tight, I'm going to use the pencil's eraser end to push in some of the shred. And this is just to make it more festive. You certainly don't have to do that. You could actually, if you choose to put in a nail polish remover, you can put in little cotton pads instead of shred, because those therefore become very useful. The thing is, you want the shred to be festive, but you don't want to completely cover up the items in the jar, because you want people to be able to see when they're considering a purchase. I made, I'm not exactly sure, but during my Christmas sale, just this last year, I made 16, 18 maybe of these jars, and I made different ones. I had some that were geared toward tea lovers. I had one of those squeeze lemon things. They're yellow, and you can get them in the fruit vegetable department of any grocery store. And I bought a little jar of honey and put that in there, and of course tea bags. And I put actually hung a little decoration on the outside, a little Christmas decoration, to make it look more festive, and that was very pretty. And you can do them geared for guys. You can do like a little grooming kit with maybe a pocket comb and a nail file and maybe some chapstick and things like that. Once you start thinking about the jars or the gifts you want to make, you can come up with a lot of wonderful ideas. And I'll make more of these in the future if you folks are interested. So anyway, basically that is the inside of the jar, and I'm going to hope that the lid will now close. I'm kind of sure it will. Let me just kind of show you how it's looking with all the stuff in it. Pretty, huh? So here's the lid, and here we go. I'm going to have to hold this forward a little bit, and that's the buffer stick, and it's closing just fine, except I don't like this piece of shred sticking out, so we'll push that down a little bit more. It was being trapped in the lid. So there you go, that's much better. And once again, put the lid on, closes very nicely. So then I'm going to take my little label, which I can't remember if I said, yeah I did, Sassy Pink Manicure in a Jar. So I'm going to take this very fine cord and cut a relatively long piece. And this is going to be my front, so I'll kind of put the nail polish in the front. And I'm sorry that I keep getting out of the camera range. I'm going to have to figure out how I can not do that. What's the point of these if you can't see what I'm doing, right? Duh. So I'm going to make one little knot in my tag, and then I'm going to put the tag kind of in the center, but not covering all my good stuff, and move it around to the back and give it a couple of ties. It's going to want to get away from you. Here's where you need extra hands or a person to say, can you please hold the center of this? So I may have to get out my glue gun. Yeah, I'm going to have to get out my glue gun. I'm going to pause this for just a second. Come right back. Okay, then, so I'm back again. Got my glue gun kind of warmed up, and I'm putting a dollop of glue where I'm tying it so it will stay in place. Whoops, gotta hold it there for a second or two. And want this to be in a place where it's going to be seen, but it's not going to obstruct the pretty bow that I'm about ready to put on. And so, oh good heavens, problem child. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a dollop of glue in the front here and keep it in place about where I want it. Not much, just a little bit. I'm holding it in place about like that. And then for extra security, I'll bring the cord around and tie it also in the back when I'm pulling the back, and put a little dollop of glue where I'm tying it, and that way it should stay in place. Make another knot. Oh, this shouldn't be such a problem, really. I'm a little aggravated that it is, but that's okay. So, I'm going to cut this shorter because it does need to be hanging on the back, and I guess the glue is actually working better with this fine cord than knots. So, okay, so I have that. You notice I put the took the lid off because I wanted to make sure it wasn't interfering with the placement of the lid, because I didn't want it to pull off when the jar was opened. So there you go. I have that so far. And then I've got the burlap ribbon, which is 9 feet. And it's got finished edges, and that's of course at Dollar Tree. And again, it's 42 inches long. So what I do with that is I'm going to get this out of the way for a minute. I'm going to fold it, just kind of finger press it. I'm going to fold the whole 42 inches. Try to get it as even as possible. Fold, 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 fold. You don't have to iron it or anything. Okie dokie. So, once again, I'm going to find the center of the jar, which is now where I've placed my tag, and start putting the ribbon on. I've got the folded part on the top, so it's neater that way. And I'm going to sort of find my ends to make them relatively even. Let me turn this around and put this way. So I'm going to make just one knot right here in the center because I'm obviously creating a bow. Actually, I think I'll make 2 knots. And as long as I have the glue gun out, I think I'll put a tiny bit of glue to secure it to the jar. And then I'm going to make 2 loops. Just a regular run-of-the-mill bow. If I can get it through. Oh my gosh. Oh, I guess life would be boring if everything turned out well the first time. I'm going to turn it around. That's how I do my bows. You sit back down. Because I'm a lazy old broad. I'd much rather sit than stand. So I'm going to fluff this bow. Getting close to the end, guys. So the ends are kind of yucky. So what I'm going to do, you can, I mean, a lot of people like them all shreddy looking, but I prefer them to be neat. So I'm folding again. I'm making sure I have the fold on the tails here. And I'm going to take my little scissors, which happen to be pink too. And I'm going to make a cut from the folded side to the seam side. Oops, that's the wrong way. Folded side to the seam side, like that. And that makes a nice little dovetail. See? And I'll do the same to the other side, try to make them relatively even. I'm going from the fold side to the seam side. I'm going to make an angled cut to make a nice little, oh, that's the wrong way. Dyslexia at its best. So you need to point it downward to get the dovetail effect, the seam, from the folded side to the seam. So I'm going to play with the ribbon just a wee bit, make it look prettier. And actually, I think what I'll do is, ta-da, ta-da. Well, I was going to put some more glue on it, but I don't think I will. It's looking pretty good, guys. So, there it is. How pretty. I'll take a picture of it to include in the video. I hope you like it. I have to play with it just a wee bit to make sure you can still see the tag. So how cute is that? I mean, seriously. So, okay, well, that's it for today. Please, 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 you know, I'm building my channel. I'm just getting it started. So appreciate it if you would subscribe and like it if you did. And share with your friends if you think that they'll enjoy seeing this. And hope to see you for my next video, which will be in a few days. Something completely different. Okay, bye-bye.